Hello and welcome back to another Slay the Spire stream. I'm your host, Vegetablebread, and today we're going to be starting with a defect run. I don't think trademarks work quite the way you're hoping they do, and it's it's a little bit expensive to register a trademark. You would be able to beat me to it. I have not registered it, and I probably don't anticipate registering it. But I do own the URL, and that's fairly important. Upgrade a card, take Nao's Lament, 7 max HP for a rare relic, or do a boss relic swap. I like boss relic swaps a lot with defect, but I like rare relics a lot too. Cracked core is not the best, for sure, but rare relics are insane. Rare relic could be like Dead Branch, or like Fossilized Helix, or Incense Burner. Could also be like Gira, or like Stone Calendar. There's some bad ones, but pretty hard to miss too bad when you get a rare relic. They're all quite powerful. It's even Stone Calendar. I think Stone Calendar is probably like the worst one, but Stone Calendar, like, on its own, you can win Act 1 with Stone Calendar. You can just wait until Stone Calendar kills sentries. It's, like, actually quite good against Act 1 elites. The only one it doesn't really work against is Gremlin Nob. Can't really wait that long in Gremlin Nob fight. Actually, I'm going to just look at all the rare relics and see if that's actually the worst one. Obviously, Birdface Urn is insane in defect. Calipers can be quite good. Captain's Wheel is amazing. We can't get Captain's Belt or Charon's Ashes or Cloak Clasp. Dead Branch is nuts. Duvudal is fairly good. Duvudal might be the weakest. Emotion Chip is not amazing. You can do some crazy stuff with it, but it's a little bit hard to get going. Gambling Chip is awesome. Ginger's fairly weak. Ice Cream's absolutely busted. Lizard Tail would be great. Mango's fairly weak. Old Coin is nuts. Peace Pipe is really good. Pocket Watch is amazing. Huh, I didn't realize Prayer Wheel was a rare. It's very good for Meow, though. Prayer Wheel is excellent. Shovel's great. Stone Calendar. So it's like the weakest is like either like Duvudal or Stone Calendar or Ginger, I think. Thread Needle's fairly weak as well. Tori and Tungsten Rod are obviously amazing. Turnip is quite a bit better than Ginger. Unceasing Top is very bad. And then Wing Boots is actually fairly strong. How is the new patch treating me? I like it a lot. I think they made Defect a lot stronger, or Silent a lot stronger. It seems better. Yeah, I suppose we should look at the map since Lament is available. There's a snipe here. Potentially it's like a 50% snipe. Or is it like a 65? I think 50% is 4 question marks. I'm not seeing any other snipes, so it's this guy or nothing. Generally, I would want 2 snipes if I was going to go for... or I would want to at least try for 2 snipes if I'm taking Lament. Right, exactly. The use in commerce part of registering a trademark is pretty important. Also, it's like trademarks can be state specific, and they also are always industry specific. So, like, somebody could make like Rogue Executive the bakery, and we could share it. Yeah, reprogram is great. Nowadays, I think I'm just going to do a boss relic swap anyway. This is probably the best non-boss relic swap for defect, but boss relic swap is just so good. Like, unless it's Dead Branch, pretty much, we're probably better off doing boss relic swap. I guess, like, okay, there's a couple of them that would be better. Dead Branch, Ice Cream, Old Coin, Pocket Watch, Prayer Wheel, Shovel, Gambling Chip. I think those are all the ones that would be better than a boss relic swap. Maybe Birdface Urn. Birdface Urn's pretty insane on defect. I don't know. I guess, okay, so how many are better? So it's like 1, Calipers no, Captain's Wheel no, 2 for Dead Branch, Duvidol, no. Emotion Chip, no. Fossilized Helix, yeah. Okay, 3 for Fossilized Helix, 4 for Gambling Chip. No for Ginger, no for Gira. Yes for Ice Cream, so that's a 5. Yes for Incense Burner, 6. No for Lizard Tail. Yes for Old Coin, that's 7. No for Peace Pipe. Yes for Pocket Watch, that's 8. Yes for Prayer Wheel, so that's 9. Yes for Shovel, that's 10. No for Stone Calendar. No for Threaten Needle, and Tory, and Tungsten Rod, and Turnip. Unseasoned Top, and Wing Boots. So it's 10 total out of, what is it, 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So 10 out of 26 boss relic swaps, I would say, are better than... Or 10 out of 26 rare relics are better than boss relic swaps. So it's not crazy. Can I spend bread bucks to convince you to take a rare relic? No, not particularly. Okay, I guess I titled the stream today, "We Want to Not Die to Slavers." So how does that impact this decision? Some of the rare relics that are good in general are actually not that good against slavers. Like Pocket Watch is not that good against slavers. Captain's Wheel is not good against slavers. Fossilized Helix is not good against slavers. Some of them are better than normal against slavers, like Shovel and Incense Burner. And like Dead Branch. We can die to Gremlin Knob. See, there you go. We just die in Act 1. You prefer rare relics because I suck at dealing with Dome or an early Cursed Key. It's funny that you called out Dome and Cursed Key. I definitely don't think those are the worst ones. The worst ones are by far Busted Crown and Ectoplasm. Followed by, I would say, Tiny House. And then maybe... honestly, like, I have some problems with Coffee Dripper sometimes. Dome and Kursky, I'd both say are like top third outcomes. Those are both good. I mean, it can be difficult for sure. Yeah, Dome is right. Dome is like really strong, but like not very fun. Tiny House is much worse than a rare relic in general. Although it is worth noting that Tiny House from Niao is quite a bit better than Tiny House from a boss. Because Tiny House from Niao gives you a card reward, and that card reward boosts your rare card reward chances for the rest of the act. Whereas the card reward at the end of the act is basically useless for finding rare cards, because you just saw a rare card, so you can't see one from the Tiny House, and there's no future card rewards in the act for Tiny House to buff. Alright, let's do the rare relic. It's just for fun. Oh, bird facing. Alright, so we're like hardcore into like powers and creative AI. We're like leaning in as hard as we can. Get those powers. Okay. So we want to probably get 2 elites. It doesn't look like 3 is practical. The only paths with 3 elites involve the Mega Elite. Maybe we can do a Mega Elite, but Birdface Urn doesn't really come online until like Act 3. I guess Act 2 probably, but Act 3 definitely. So we probably want to like try and just not die. Hey Durian Bane, this is your first time any intro to the game. Yeah, so Slay the Spire is a single-player deck-building roguelike. So you start with a small deck of cards, and you build it to be a much bigger and more powerful card. A lot of your strength comes from these things up here, which aren't in your deck. They're just sort of passive bonuses to your run called relics. Your health is preserved over floors, as is your gold. So those are your sort of metagame resources. You also have potions that are preserved per floor that help you get stronger in an individual fight. we're playing the game on max difficulty here, so you will see me do some things that maybe aren't correct for you to do in your own play, because we have to take some risks to have a chance at winning. But we're starting out pretty strong here with the Birdface Urn. It's pretty rare to find sources of healing in the game, so being able to heal is pretty excellent. Okay, I think we're starting out right because we want to hit our 3 hallway fights, 3 easy pool fights for the elite. And then probably get the second elite. I guess that's a no fire path. Maybe that's a bad idea. So maybe we do like 4 fights and then an elite to get an extra fire in. That seems like kind of a bad idea. This path has 5 fights before a fire and then an elite. Well, I guess this elite has a fire after him. I said this is a no fire path, but that's not true. This one right here. So let's do that. Okay. Alright, couple of lice here. Starting trouble in my neighborhood. Trying to avoid taking too much damage. Still taking 3. Dual-cast strike is guaranteed to kill at least somebody. I'll take both. Streamline, Doom and Gloom, and Sweeping Beam are the options. Sweeping Beam and Doom and Gloom don't both help us do some AoE damage. Streamline does more damage per energy, for sure. Who is the boss? That's a good point. I don't think I looked. It is Guardian. I think Sweeping Beam is my instinctual pick here. Sweeping Beam is quite good. We're probably doing a focus build since we kept Cracked Core, so Doom and Gloom could help us get some extra orbs. Doom and Gloom is quite powerful. It does less damage per energy than Sweeping Beam. But, you know, develops a Dark Orb. I actually like Streamline a lot. I think Streamline is probably the pick here. It is up against Sweeping Beam, which is quite good. To be honest, this is an excellent pick. There's no way to go wrong here. You end up with slightly different decks, depending on which one you pick. I think maybe we're going to skip Doom and Gloom. So Doom and Gloom, like, it gives us a new victory condition, but we've already got a victory condition. We like have to take like creative AI stuff, and I don't really want Dark Orbs in my creative AI deck. I really just want Frost Orbs. So I think the Birdface Urn is convincing me to not take Doom and Gloom. So it's like Streamline or Sweeping Beam. Sweeping Beam helps us out more in the Sentry fight, which is notably difficult for defect. Streamline helps us out more in either Lagavulin or Gremlin Knob. There are some hard pool fights where Streamline is better. There's some hard pool fights where Sweeping Beam is better. Hard to establish definitive guidance on that. The ones where Sweeping Beam is better are more dangerous. Gang of Slimes and Gang of Gremlins are very dangerous. But the ones where Streamline is good could be very dangerous as well, right? Like, very large slime. Or what have you. It's a tough pick. This is our first card pick, so our deck doesn't help us make the decision. Would I rather Sweeping Beam or Streamline in a deck with a bunch of powers? I would definitely take both if I could. I'd take them all if I could. Well, maybe not. No, I would. If there was an all button, I think this is probably when you would click it. Gosh. Streamline can cost 0, which is convenient if you're playing lots of expensive powers, which we might be. Sweeping Beam could help us draw towards a creative AI, but that requires us to be a 4 energy deck, which we're not currently. Yeah, I think I'll take a Streamline because I don't want to draw into creative AI or Echo Form without being able to play it. Which card is better against boss? You mean like the Heart or the Guardian? Because Streamline is definitely better against Guardian. But like it's kind of an unfair comparison, right? Because Streamline kind of scales, and Sweeping Beam doesn't. Sweeping Beam's like better in hallway fights. Streamline's better against bosses, just in general. Okay, Shining Light. We are only fighting 2 elites, so this could be our opportunity to trade some health for power. I'm not super convinced that we're not just trading health into hallway fights here. There's only really one good upgrade, and it is Streamline. I'd be happy to see Zapper Dualcast upgraded too. Even a Defend Plus is probably worth some health. Strike Pluses are the nightmare. We did give up max HP to Niao, so we've got we lose a little bit less than normal out of Shining Light, but proportionately we get less value out of resting at campsites. So it's not like it's free. Pretty close to max HP now, but we don't really have any healing. I mean, we have Birdface Arm, but we don't have any powers, so we don't really have healing. I think I'm gonna take it. I kind of like early Shining Light. I used to never pick Shining Light, but I've started picking it more and more. It's a waste of a floor if you don't pick it. And like we might have to change our pathing later because we have lower health, but like changing your pathing is a much lower cost than wasting an entire floor. Yeah, right. That's exactly the right way to think about it. It's an extra rest site, but you're forced to upgrade 2 cards, but they're random. And then it's kind of like a reverse rest site, right? Yeah, because you lose the health instead of gaining it. All right. Zap and Strike is not great, but we are a 3 energy deck, so being able to play the Zap for a little cheaper is pretty nice. Hi, Ryan. I feel like I didn't do a good job introducing myself to Durian Bane 0246. Because it's clearly his first time here, right? If it's his first time watching Slay the Spire in general. So I should have told him, like, I'm a game developer who's playing Slay the Spire, trying to give some game development insight. Oh well. White Noise is great, because we have Birdface Urn. Cold Snap, I would think, is the presumptive pick here. White Noise is very exciting, but Cold Snap is it's our first Frost Orb. If you're a power-centric deck, you gotta assume that you want Frost Orbs, because you're gonna have Focus and Orb slots. Yeah, I'm a game developer. I am working on a roguelike called Rogue Executive, where you play, it's like a single-player, turn-based tactical strategy game, like the original Rogue, so it's like a traditional roguelike. You fight sort of superhero-scale luchadors, and it's like a game full of only boss fights. It's pretty neat. If you redeem the playtest reward, you can playtest it. That's what that's for. Still early in development, so it's not gonna be out for quite a while. Yeah, I think Cold Snap and White Noise are definitely the picks here. Cold Snap is good if we are planning on fighting elites. White Noise is better in like Act 4 probably. White Noise is quite good. White Noise is an extra way to get like creative AI. No, so Ananzbana, so I've intentionally structured the project in like phases. And so the like first phase is like a mechanical design pathfinder, right? So I'm like making prototypes, playing the game, iterating on fun mechanics, but there's basically no art in the game at all. And that's an intentional decision because A, I'm not an artist, so my art production costs are fairly high. I have to hire somebody to do it. And B, if you make art for a game, you make the game harder to change, right? Because if you change the thing that the art was made for, then now you have to make new art for the new thing. And I don't want to be in that situation. I just want to be like making a fun game first before I like start attaching lots of stuff to it. It is a little bit disappointing because people do like art, but there's no art in the game. It's basically like ASCII art right now. What game engine to use? Unity. I like using Unity. I can use Unreal. I did Unreal at my last job when I was working on Torchlight 3. But before that, I worked on Hearthstone, which is in Unity. So I'm definitely familiar with both. I could write my own engine, but it's a huge waste of time, so I don't know why people do that. Whatever. To each their own, I suppose. This is another tough decision. Also, I think all roads lead to Rome here. I think you can win the game picking Cold Snap or White Noise. Probably Overclock is not a good idea. Maybe you have some pictures that inspire your game. Nope. Yeah, I'm not like a... everybody's got their own process, but I'm not like... there's a lot of different ways to think about design. And I am very much so a bottom-up design, where I like have like philosophies about like game design mechanics that I like, and that's sort of like what's driving the influences in the game, and the art goals come later. I see. So it's for you. Yeah. Well, so Mav Fatha, so I think Game Dev Tycoon is trying to say something there, and the thing they're trying to say is that every game is its own engine, right? So like it is inevitable that if you're building a game, you are building an engine. You sort of like, when people say like what engine is the game in, like Unity or Unreal, like no game just like takes Unreal, adds a bunch of content, and ships it, right? That's just not how it works. How it works is you like take Unreal and you like change a bunch of shit and you like add new things that like interact with the new things you changed, and it's all just a mess by the end. It's not the engine you start with, and like that, my game is like technically it's in Unity, but in reality, there's like I've got my own like model view controller framework and like a procedural generation framework, and like there's just all this shit that I built. And it basically like Unity when the Unity engine starts, there's like a scene with like one object in it that's just like the bootstrap object, and that object just like makes a bunch of shit and then just like populates the world and just like pops it in front of the camera basically. So like it's like technically in Unity, but like Unity is basically just like the I'm still using like Unity's like rendering and like a bunch of it's like C# engine. But like that's pretty much it. I could like port the game to being like a standalone C# client if I wanted to. It wouldn't work. That wouldn't be that hard. And maybe I will. But probably not. Good morning, guitar. Sorry, Sablin. Yeah, I hate to make people choose between playtest and Coconut, but you know, that's how it works. Fixator was great. Yeah, this is a really good start. Birdface Urn. We also got a Streamline on floor 1. Got a Zap and a Strike upgraded from the Shining Light event. I think I'm going to add a Cold Snap to it. How many bread bucks to name one of the bosses in your game after me? If you have like a compelling pitch for a character that is attached to your name, then I will do that for 0 bread bucks. And go ahead and just send me that in the message. It's got to be like a wacky, like big character, lots of personality is the goal. Sort of like Phoenix Wright, sort of like, you there, I object, sort of like really, really inflated comic book sensibilities is what we're going for. All right. Golden Idol seems pretty free. Ouch, we've been flattened. Very low max HP now. We gave up max HP for the Birdfacer and now to the Golden Idol, so... Streamline's more energy efficient for damage than Strike. Toss in a Strike 2. You want to be the witch that heals the player instead. It's not lethal with dual cast. It's off by 1. It's 19 damage. It's not lethal with Strike either. Let's just defend. I think we can take 0 here. Cool. Type take bites and apparitions. I don't know about that. I don't think I would take either. Birdfacer is pretty strong. Storm seems like it was in Birdface Urn deck. So Storm is like, I would say like the second, like if you're so there's only like 2 power synergy cards for defect. There's like Storm and Heat Sinks. I guess you could count Creative AI, but I don't. Like it's really just Storm and Heat Sinks that are the like power synergy cards, right? creative AI is a resource generator, which is a little different. So like, you'd have to imagine that we want like Storm and Heat Sinks in this deck, right? Because we have Birdface Urn. But in reality, I think we might only want Heat Sinks, because with the Birdface Urn, we're probably we're gonna want to get to full health at the end of fights. And if we play Storm, we lose our control of when the fight ends, because like when we play powers, we accidentally kill people. So I don't think we actually take Storm. Plus, it's up against Rip and Tear, which is insane. Yeah, Heat Sinks you can take. Heat Sinks just draws you cards. But Storm, I think, is a no. Eventually we'll generate a Storm from a creative AI, and that's probably how we'll end up winning. We might even put a Storm in the deck, eventually, but not yet. Especially not up against Rip and Tear on floor 5. It's way too early, and Rip and Tear is way too good. Alright, seems like we're strong enough to fight an Elite. Rip and Tear is notably weak against Sentries, as is Streamline versus the Sweeping Beam that it could have been. Cold Snap is insane against Sentries, but I think we're ready. Right, it isn't Sentries. It's Lago. Probably want to wait until we play Streamline and develop Zap, so I don't think we're going to wake up this turn, despite the fact that we have got lots of damage. We could use Blessing of the Forge, just because we probably want to upgrade Rip and Tear with it. Rip and Tear's got a pretty good upgrade. But I guess like it's basically the same as the Streamline upgrade, so maybe we'll just do it with Streamline. Plus we're missing the Strike Up upgrade if we do it now. And using Blessing of the Forge and then not waking him up seems weird. Okay, I'll develop a Zap. Maybe we redraw Rip and Tear and we get to hit both. Darn. Alright, I'll go ahead and Blessing the Forge this hand. It's only hitting 3 cards, but it's hitting Streamline and Cold Snap, which are important. I'm gonna put the Frost Orb in front. What are the orbs? So, Defect is a character, so each character has like their own set of mechanics. Ironclad doesn't really have his own mechanics, weirdly. Silent does poison, and Watcher does like stance changing. And so this is Defect, so he has these orbs that are his sort of particular mechanic. You start out with 3 orb slots. There are some cards that say channel an orb. When you channel an orb, it goes into the first unoccupied slot. If there are no unoccupied slots, it does a different thing with orbs called evoking them. So orbs can be either channeled or evoked. When it's evoked, it does sort of like... Okay, so when an orb is channeled at the end of your turn, it doesn't affect. Or not always at the end of your turn. Most of them are at the end of your turn. But plasma orbs are at the beginning of your turn. So orbs have an effect while they're channeled. Lightning orbs do damage. Frost orbs gain you armor. Those are pretty simple. And then when they're evoked, they do more of that thing. So lightning orbs do 5 additional damage when they're evoked, but then they're gone. Frost orbs get 3 additional block. So when you channel an orb with all your orb slots full, the front orb is evoked, and then the new orb is channeled into the back. So we put the Frost orb in the back first, because we might need to evoke the Frost orb. We want to set that up to be dual castable at some point. There's some more complicated orbs. Plasma orbs and dark orbs are the other varieties, but we don't have any of those right now, so we don't worry about them. We're always playing Strike Plus because that's a good card, and I think we're just double defending. Trying to preserve that life total. The orbs will work away on him over time. We're never skipping Rip and Tear, and we're still trying to save that life total. Use the last energy for striking. Should be able to kill him before he attacks again. Yeah, killing him this turn. Okay. It wasn't a great fight. Ooh, Molten Egg's very exciting. Wow. This deck is got some really good relics. Birdface Urn and Molten Egg for the first 2 is very spicy. Probably taking a Loop here. Loop heals us for 2. It's really strong. Got a Cold Snap. We do have low max HP, that's true. Blood Idol actually wouldn't be very good. We're presumably getting to full health at the end of fights with Birdface Urn eventually. Can we increase our max HP? Not really. I mean, there are definitely ways to do it, but none of them that we can control. Cool-Headed is a possible pick here. But Loop is quite a bit rarer. Cool-Head's a common, Loop is an uncommon, so... since we want to pick a Loop at some point, I think we pick the Loop now. And then this may be what Anansbana was alluding to, but Loop needs an upgrade. Loop's upgrade is really good. But we can't quite afford it here because our current health is too low. So I think we're going to rest here just to make sure we survive. Yeah, this is why we rest. These guys are mean. If we strike him, he can die to lightning orbs, which is a little bit scary. We don't want to be vulnerable. We kind of want to kill them both on the same turn. So I'll go ahead and strike this guy. What is your thought process for when do you upgrade? How do you pick what to upgrade? As far as when do you upgrade, it's mostly a question of can you afford to upgrade without dying? So you have to sort of think about the challenges that are in front of you and whether or not you're currently able to beat them. As for what to upgrade, it's really dependent on what kind of deck you're playing. Definitely like some cards have better upgrades than others. I generally think of it as how effective, or how much increase in effect does this get per energy cost. So like Loop, for example, doubles in effect. It's like you get 2 loops instead of 1, which is insane. Whereas like Defend goes from 5 to 8, which is like you get 3 extra block per energy, which is nice, but not nearly as much as doubling. It's also, you want to upgrade cards that you play a lot. So like Streamline only gets 2.5 damage per energy, which is less than a Strike. But, because Strike goes up to 9 from 6. But we're going to play Streamline pretty much every time we see it, and over the course of a fight, doing 20 damage for 0 is pretty nuts. So that damage per energy analysis is a little bit incomplete. It's hard to spell out all the rules. We're going to go ahead and drink a potion here, both because we're in a ton of danger, and because we have 2 potions, so we might get another one as a result of the fight. Equilibrium's pretty good for free. I'll go ahead and just block out. In this fight, you generally want to kill them both on the same turn, so we're setting up for that now. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I do that where I, like, set myself up with a bad argument. Ripidare is lethal. Just to demonstrate that it's not true. There's the heat sinks. We are offered 2 upgraded attacks, though. I mean, we're guaranteed to see every attack upgrade because of Molten Egg, but, like, still, these are really strong. Melter is particularly strong in the Guardian fight. We did just fight Lagavulin, so we can't fight Lagavulin again, which is a good thing for Melter. Yeah, I like always do that. I like talk about the cards that I don't want, and then I talk about the card that I want, and then why I'm picking it over the other cards. Yeah, I think that like picking cards against Orb is probably not correct. At most, you're gonna fight Orb like twice in a run, and it's cool to be able to just like nuke him from orbit with a Melter. Like that's fun. I've done that. It's pretty great. But you have to have Melter as a card in your deck permanently for all the challenges you're going to face. And 1 energy to do 14, while it's quite good, and I might actually pick it here, because 1 energy to do 14 is like a lot. It's not actually that useful in a lot of fights. Like against the Heart, Melter is going to be like, well, I guess we need to get a little closer to a damage cap, so I'll do this crappy damage card. But it's also good against like Spire Elites, and there's a lot of good spots for Melter. It is up against Heat Sinks here, which is something I think we probably want. We are getting a little bit behind on upgrades if we pick Heat Sinks, because then Loop and Heat Sinks both need upgrades really badly. Loop is also in the it doubles when you upgrade it category. Sure, there's lots of good fights for Melter. I'm not trying to say Melter's bad. My main problem with Melter is that we already have a pretty good amount of damage, and I'm not sure that we really need. Are the rebalance for defect relevant or attack deck still crap? It's quite good now. If you can get a reprogram deck going, it's very strong. I don't know what you mean by rebalance. I'm presuming you just mistyped reprogram. Are you talking about this card? It's weird that the bot is still out of date. I assumed the bot would have updated when they made the patch on main, but it did not. Scrape upgrade is also huge. There haven't been many defect upgrades. There's just a couple of them. So reprogram and scrape are the main ones. They did also upgrade the neutral zero-cost cards. Hey, Sherwins. Alright, good night, Durin Bane. Yeah, this is a tough one. Heatsinks versus Melter is kind of rough. I guess Heatsinks is kind of building around something we don't really need yet. We're a 3 energy deck, so like getting lots of card draw is not really like not a great outcome right now. So I think we're still waiting on like a mummified hand would make Heatsinks really good. Obviously, like getting mummified hand and Birdface Urn in a defect deck is like kind of insane, but. Yeah, that was funny. Good morning and good night, right in a row. We're really a global experience at this point. The sun rises. The sun never sets on the Vegetablebread Empire. I don't know. Do we take Melter here? And Melter's like way too good to ignore, right? Melter Plus is like pretty insane. How do you feel about speculative picks? In general, I'm quite positive on speculative picks. So like, you definitely can end up in a situation where you like are trying to force something that the card gods don't want you to have, and you have to be willing to give up on it. But like, if it's floor 1 and you see a catalyst, like, probably should pick it. Speculative picks, you're like you're building around something that you don't really have the support for yet. So like, if you are playing Ironclad and you pick a Heavy Blade on floor 1, that's a speculative pick. You're like, I'll probably get I'll get strength, right? So, Pandora's box into 8 claws. Let's go. Ryan, I think that when you see egg, you should pick more attacks. It seems like when you have egg, you should start not picking attacks as much because like the ones you're getting are really good. So it's like you need to be a little bit more choosy, but you really don't. Because like the game doesn't change when you get Molten Egg. The numbers on the enemies are the same. So if you have a Melter Plus, it still kills the shit out of people. So you can just pick it and you just win. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. There's a stone calendar. I mean, sure. Wait a minute. We have Birdface Urn. Is Stone Calendar gonna, like, involuntarily kill a bunch of enemies and prevent us from healing to full? Maybe this is supposed to be our Sapphire Key. I'm glad that I'm thinking about it now, because it's gonna happen later when I'm gonna forget about Stone Calendar and it's gonna kill people and I'm gonna be like, oh man, I was gonna try and heal the full in this fight. Oops. Life Coach would have chosen Compile Driver. I don't know if Compile Driver is really very good. I mean, we do have two orb types, but like Melter does way more damage. Yeah, skipping a rare relic is not a good feeling. Good morning, Snail Crazy. I think we're probably picking Stone Calendar. I just like I want to be really aware that it's gonna stop me from healing at some point, and I'm gonna feel bad. But it's also gonna like win a fight that I have no business winning. So. If this heals us, we might do a Mega Elite. So we'll see the question mark. That's not healing. Actually, I guess it could be still. We might go to this shop, so we do have to be a little bit cognizant about... 52 damage doesn't seem like it'll be the killing blow that prevents him from healing. It definitely can be. Darklings, for example, are usually just killed by Stone Calendar. Centurion Mystic can be made quite problematic by Stone Calendar. 4B, come on. We talked about this. Alright, if these potions are really good, we go fight a Mega Elite, so let's go see if the potions are good. Strength pot with a Rip and Tear. At 38 health. The Stone Calendar. Maybe with the Stone Calendar we take Skill Pot and try and survive. Yeah, these aren't great. I was hoping for like a can you get Blood Pot? Is Blood Pot Ironclad only? I keep forgetting. I was hoping for like Blood Pot and a Fruit Juice. Yeah, Blood Pot is Ironclad only. Yeah. Or like a Cultist Pot or something. And Tropic Brew. There's some insane ones. Fairy in a Bottle. Well, Ghost in Jar's silent only. I know that for sure. Are we good enough to fight? Let's see, what kills us? Does, like, Strength Knob kill us? If we're worried about Strength Knob, we should take the Strength Pot instead of the Skill Pot, right? Skill Pot's terrible against the Strength Knob. I don't think Strength Knob kills us, because we still survived the first 2 attacks. What about Regenerating Knob? I think we do enough damage to outpace Regenerating Knob. Yeah, Regenerating Knob is probably the scariest, though, because that's... we might not be able to kill him in time. Because if he attacks us for a 3rd time, we're definitely dead. Alright, let's take a Strength Pot and go fight Grandma Knob. Okay, great. Regenerating Sentries. They just died as Stone Calendar. We just have to survive. Okay, we might end up Liquid Memoriesing a defend on turn 2. Apparently Spire Info is sick of your shit, 4B Labs. It does 52 damage. Yeah, sure enough, looks like we have to Liquid Memories a defend. It seems like a terrible use of a Liquid Memories, though. Maybe we should just take some damage. The other line is like Rip and Tear, Melter, Defend. Does Rip and Tear, Melter ever kill? 1428. No, it doesn't. 34. Yeah, what the hell? Why is Spire Info not responding to 4B Labs? Okay, so the problem with this line is, like, if we don't kill this one before his next cycle, then we take 20 again, and that seems really bad. So let's try and do some damage. Ooh, not good hits. I guess he's at lower health now, so we'll Melter him. But not good feelings. And I will go ahead and Liquid Memories to defend. Okay, Streamline Strike does kill, or Streamline Cold Snap does kill him, finally. We missed our defend here. I was hoping for this defend. I think that wins us the fight. I think even if we, like, miss every defend from here on out, Stone Calendar wins before we die. We'll try to kill him before his next attack. He'll be the last one to attack. He attacks on 6. Attack 7 never happens. We did not get him. Okay, whatever. Well, that hurt. I guess we do technically kill him. We had lethal. We didn't even need Stone Calendar. Dang it, Stone Calendar. Got some defensive resources and a Sweeping Beam Plus. We just fought sentries, so the need for Sweeping Beam Plus has diminished somewhat. We're also holding a explosive pot, so we might want to skip that. I'm a big fan of Cool-Headed. Equilibrium is nice. What are we doing with Equilibrium? Yeah, I like Cool-Headed too. It is tough to be a 3 energy deck. We do need to get the Frost Orbs, right? Like, because eventually this wants to be a focus scaling deck, so we like, if we get the Frost Orbs. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the point of Equilibrium is the problem. Equilibrium is also bad for like a Runic Pyramid pick. Horton hears a meow. I'm gonna let Coconut eat her food, and then I'll go grab her, because she was just giving us a little drive-by meow on the way to her food dish there. Alright. And we're clearly resting here before our next elite encounter. This one is Gremlin up, so it's going to be our strength pot for sure. Zap on turn 1 is amazing. And we need to kill him next turn. Strike is 19 plus 6 is lethal with the explosive pot. That'll do it. I guess it's actually lethal without the explosive pot. Yeah, we can just cool head him to death. Cool. Now we're talking. Self-repair seems kind of redundant with Birdface Urns, so I think probably just Capacitor. Capacitor seems excellent with Frost Orbs against Guardian. Here I owe a coconut. Yeah. Okay. Chat SI. Alright, Coconut. You ready to pick that Capacitor? Capacitor's pretty good. Oh, whoop. Gotta stay safe. Don't fall onto the ground, okay? There's no seatbelt in this Snuggie. Oh, okay. Alright. She just wanted to jump onto the desk. Can't stop her. I go to click Capacitor and she's like, that's my opening! I'm going! Hey man, I'm fine with Inserter after Capacitor. That's fine. Capacitor just lets us bootstrap our orb slots. That is no problem. Tori is great here. Saves us 3 health. For the first of many times in the run, hopefully. Defend Cool-Headed also reduces us down to the Tori threshold, although this time it's only blocking for 1. Oh my gosh, taking a burrito and a taco. That's quite a lunch. I guess let's... Yep. Let's see what we get. Okay. Wait, do we have lethal? 14 plus 6... Yeah, we definitely have lethal. Okay. Second Streamline, Doom Gloom, or Charge Battery. You spelled Tori wrong. 2 eyes. 1 O. I love the Charge Battery beta art. I always, whenever I order a burrito, I order super burrito because I love like guacamole and sour cream. So I can never eat like a burrito and something else. That'd be insane. Second Streamline is definitely a no. I think Doom and Gloom is also a no. It's either Charge Better or Skip here. Charge Better is quite good. Power-centric decks tend to be very expensive, and we're a 3 energy deck. Did you ever get the chance to go to Nate's Corner when you were down here in SoCal? I don't think so. What is Nate's Corner? You know what? I used to live like... Here, hold on. I'm going to measure this. I used to live like extremely close there. But no, I never went there. We like saw it and never actually went. Is that like a place that you... it's pretty well known. I don't know. I lived like right there. Never heard anything about it. There's like a donut shop in that shopping mall, right? We considered going there. You know what? Actually, I think we did go there one time. We got like a breakfast burrito. I'm surprised to hear that place called out. I never really thought of it as a thing. I don't know. Seems like Charge Battery is like maybe not super strong. We do need more block cards against Guardian though, so I think that'll make me take it. Just because we have like no block cards at all. Doom and Gloom's definitely a consideration. We could do it. But like these orbs say like go real slow. We've got like Mercury Hourglass and Stone Calendar and Birdface Urn. So we're just trying to block until people die basically. And Charge Battery does pretty well with that. Alright, we're at 16. Do we think we can take an upgrade? We should consider ourselves to be at 20 because we have some healing in the deck. Loop and Capacitor will each heal us for 2. Let me think about that for a second while I put some milk in my tea. Just sit there. Just be a nice little kitty, okay? Be nice. My wife is having a meeting, so we may drop some frames. And my cat is loud. It's okay, Cooking It. You can just hang out right there. I got a little pillow for you. Right, I think we need to rest. I think rest is the only responsible thing to do here. I would love to smith, but I don't think we can. I don't think we should. Unupgraded capacitor is fine. It's really just the loop that wants the upgrade so badly. We'll get there. I'm just afraid that we're not going to be able to split him in time. Yeah, this is a terrible hand for trying to split the Guardian as soon as possible. We don't really need Capacitor the first go-around. Loop increases our damage. Can do 28? Looks like we probably can. 14 plus 16. That's 30. I guess we have to do 31, but we have it. Alright, now we just gotta develop some Frost Orbs and wait for Mercury Hourglass to kill him. Do we play Melter or Strike Plus? I think no. think we're just kind of trying to hang on here, so we can't take damage. I do have to keep in mind that we have Tori. We chose not to play the other one, but I think we will play this this Cold Snap. We need to get the Frost Orb down. Actually, wait. We're currently taking 1 damage, and if we do the Cold Snap, we take. So it's like 16 versus 12. So we take 4, and that turns into 1. And if we Cold Snap, we take 2 extra net damage because we block for 2, but take 4. So instead of it being 16 versus 12, it's 16 versus 8. So we would take the full 8. So I'm not going to Cold Snap because currently we're taking 1. So. Huh. That's very interesting. I didn't know that if you mute a stream, you don't count as a viewer. That's very strange. Why does it work that way? We can't split him, so we need to do those kind of things. I guess we don't care about this damage because it just gets reduced by Tori down to 0, so doesn't really matter if he's hitting us or not. Also, I'm not sure I'm completely aligned with the whatchamacallit, with the statement there. Pixel-wise, it's yeah. I don't believe they can reach into your browser and know it's muted. I'm pretty sure, from a computer security perspective, they can't know that. But if you want to mute the stream, that's fine. Like the viewers are way less important to me than like all I really care about is that eventually, when I say, hey, you can go buy the game, that people go buy the game. So like, if you want to be a lurker and you want to go. And you want to mute the tab and go do something else, that's fine. If you are doing it just to keep the viewer count up and promote the stream, then I guess you have to leave the volume on. But yeah, in Chrome you can mute the tab. I'm pretty sure there's no way for them to tell. Maybe they I don't know, maybe they can't tell, but I don't think so. Alright, so I think we play Capacitor and all the damage. Rip and Tear last, because it goes through the armor. And the next turn we get Stone Counter going off. Everyone in chat mute the tabs. Wait a minute! Okay, so defend blocks of damage, so we don't care about. We can do the strike for free. Do we even want the lightning orb, or do we just want to load up with frost orbs here? He's actually like getting pretty close to dead. He's only got like 70 health left, so I think if we just load up on some damage, we should be able to get that one last split. 7 plus 6 is 13, so he's hitting us for 5, and that turns into 1 thanks to Tori, so that seems like a pretty good place to be. No additional attacks. Wow, never playing Streamline in the fight is pretty brutal. I've definitely lost a fight because I never played Streamline. Not this one. Looks like we're winning this one. Currently taking 2 damage. I don't really care, so I'm just going to strike. That's a good point, Coconut. Yeah. Alright. Can we get the Melter kill? Oh, we are going to play Streamline once. Just exactly once. We'll let Streamline get the kill. Just to decost it for the next act. There we go. There's the Creative AI. Seems like we need that. Bias Cog's nice too. Buffer sometimes pickable. Creative AI seems like a huge addition to the deck. Basically building around that Creative AI since floor 1, so... Okay. Snecko Eye, furthermore, is awesome. Being a 3 energy Snecko Eye deck is not amazing. Especially when it just randomly decides that the Creative AI can't be played. Although, the Creative AI's original cost is already 3, so... some pretty good potions here, so like a notably good Sacred Bark. Getting 2 copies of an attack potion or doing 20 AoE damage are both very useful abilities in Act 2. Plasma would make it easier to play Creative AI, but so would Snecko Eye. It's interesting that you call this out as an incredibly interesting boss fight chord. I think it's interesting, but I think it's like I see this and I'm like, yeah, probably Snecko Eye, right? Like, I feel like Snecko Eye always hates me. I rarely get the good end of RNG with it. Well, the whole point, so the game, the Snecko Eye changes the game, and the way that it changes the game is that it really forces you to focus on mitigating RNG. And the thing about this deck is it's already really good at mitigating RNG, because we can heal up to full at the end of every fight, right? And we block passively with Frost Orbs. So if Snecko Eye, if like late in a fight, Snecko Eye just says like, nah, your whole hand costs 3, then like we're like, oh no, I guess I'll just let my Frost Orbs block for me and wait for next turn, right? Like, you know, obviously Snecko Eye can kill us, but I think Snecko Eye is quite good here. You're right, it does increase the cost of the deck. That's true, and it's a really bad combo with Streamline, because it'll reset the cost of Streamline every time. But A, Streamline isn't very important, and B, while Creative AI randomizes the cost of your cards, it increases the availability of your resources, which is what's really important about drawing cards. So like, if you're a 3 energy Snecko Eye deck, on average you play 2 cards a turn, which is maybe a little lower than the 3 cards you were playing per turn. But if you were playing 3 cards out of drawing 5, and now you're playing 2 cards out of drawing 7, you have potentially an even wider pool of available answers to the questions that are being posed. Potentially. To answer Jesse's question, no. When Creative AI generates a power, it is going to have its original cost, yeah. Although if you don't play that power and then you redraw it, that does have a randomized cost. We also have Charge Battery, so we have a little bit more than 3 energy. It is kind of a bummer that we have a Zap Plus. Definitely feels like we could have put that upgrade on anything else, although it was an involuntary upgrade from Shining Light. So, in retrospect, that Shining Light was probably pretty bad. If it had hit 2 defense, I'd be way happier with it than Zap Strike. So obviously, we didn't get the best outcome, but but even in retrospect, if we had just not taken the Shining Light, we probably could have gotten an upgrade on Loop. An upgrade on Loop would be very nice. So Guitar, I think that that math is extremely misleading. It's definitely true that 3/5 is more than 2/7, but the fact that the size of your hand is in the denominator is like a flashing warning that like your math is misleading you, right? Because like hand size is a good thing. So if your hand size is infinite, your number would go down to 0, and that's it's indicating that you're probably not thinking about the problem correctly. Is 69 better than 420? I don't know. How would you compare the words nice to Blaze It alphabetically? Blaze It clearly is earlier in the alphabet. And the numbers 420 and 69 are clearly associated with easily identifiable strings. Nice is later, making it wiser. The real true meme master is just the number that's associated with Z. I don't know what it is, but once we find it, we will have achieved the maximum internet. Or I guess an unlimited series of Z's. The Z's with no end. Whatever the sleepiest number is, that's what we have to find. Sorry, what's happening in the game? Okay, Snake AI versus Nuclear Battery versus Sacred Bar. So we've talked about Snake AI a little bit. It increases the availability of the cards in your deck by making you draw them faster, which is really great. It also randomizes the cost, which is bad. We have some card draw with Cool-Headed. That's really good with Snake AI, so you can have availability of more resources. It also decreases the cost of Creative AI on average. 3 out of 4 times makes Creative AI cheaper, and Creative AI is definitely the most important card in the deck right now. So that's nice. Nuclear Battery lets us do things like Coolhead Creative AI or Charge Battery Creative AI, or like just Defend Creative AI, just like giving us something to do on our Creative AI turn. We don't have very many defensive resources, which is pretty concerning. Also, the Cool-Headed being a dead draw into Creative AI, if we stay on 3 energy, is like a pretty big deal. So like, if for Sacred Bark, we're gonna run into situations where we're like, I have to play Creative AI, but I don't want to draw, or I have to play Cool-Headed, but I don't want to draw Creative AI, and that's gonna be really lame. So if we pick Sacred Bark, we definitely need like a turbo or an aggregate or something. The upside of Sacred Bark is we get to trivialize some early fights with a double attack pot into like double meteor. Which is nuts. So these cards say, just wait. Just wait, and Stone Calendar and Mercury Hourglass will kill people, and Birdfacer and Creative AI will put you at full health. Nuclear Battery is terrible at waiting, because eventually your orb slots get full of other stuff, and you evoke your Plasma Orb, and then you're not a 4 energy deck. But, on the flip side, Nuclear Battery does help you get set up so that you're better at waiting, right? So Nuclear Battery makes it easier to play Creative AI. However, Snake AI also makes it easier to play Creative AI, and it draws you a bunch of cards, and it never wears off. So I think it's probably Snecko over Nuclear Battery. I'm still not sure about Sacred Bark versus Snecko Eye. This deck would be so good if we just like if we swapped Crack Core into any energy relic and then we got like these relics slightly later. God, it'd be good. Yeah, I think we're probably picking Snecko Eye. It's very interesting, though. All right, let's see if Snecko Eye kills us in early Act 2. We do have low max HP and like potions that aren't amazing. Probably want to go to a shop because we have a bunch of money. There's a shop here. That's as early as one can possibly spawn. Unfortunately, it forces us into a second shop in like a couple of floors, which is really awkward. It seems battery is less impactful here because most of the deck is cheap and not a lot of draw. I don't know about that. I mean, with Snecko Eye, our deck costs on average 1.5, which is kind of chunky. Getting a zero-cost charge battery is like super exciting. What is the value of a 4th energy in Snecko deck? I think it's huge. Getting 4 energy with Snecko makes it a lot less restrictive. Sometimes when you have 3 energy, you only get to play 1 card with Snecko Eye, and those are the turns when you die. But if you have 4 energy, it's very unlikely that you can't play 2 cards. It can happen still, but you literally have to get every card 3 cost, or every card except for 1 3 cost, and the other one is 2. Yeah, I think energy is even more valuable in a Snecko Eye deck than it is in a non-Snecko Eye deck, and energy is crazy valuable in a non-Snecko Eye deck. I think we probably want to just go to this shop. So let's like go to this question mark and then see where we are. It's possible we end up doing a bunch of fires, and like no elites in Act 2. Fires are primarily just for upgrades at this point. I guess like Loop needs the upgrade, Capacitor, Cool-Headed. What I was doing was generating Snecko hands, evaluating how many cards you can play in the hand. Interesting. Ooh, hey, congratulations, Glad Pixie. Or Glade Pixie. I guess that pixies are both glad and generally live in glades, so both make sense. But I'm glad that I eventually got it right. Yeah, I'm not wild about this pathing. I want to see more question marks, but I definitely don't want to go to 2 shops, and I don't want to go to a shop and 3 fights and then an elite. So the only way to get to a shop that isn't one of those things is this path, so I guess I'll do this path. What I found doing that is that on 3 energy, on average, you get 3.8 cards per hand. With 4, it goes to 4.2. Wow, that's really high. That's way higher than I would have anticipated. 3.8. Is that like mathematically supportable, or is that just did you take too small of a sample? Because 3.8 seems like a really high number. So okay, so you get 7 cards, and they have random costs. You're not saying you can play 3.4 cards, all right? 3.8 cards, all right? You're just saying 3.8 playable cards, but that doesn't make any sense because every card is playable. That's confusing. So here's Melter doing some work. Kapow. Screw your armor. Darn it. I'm going to restart the fight. I forgot to play the defend. Okay, and then I think defend is probably more important than zap. It doesn't look at what the cards are at all, just the number in hand and the maximum number of cards you could play. I see. So in this hand, it would play zap dual cast. So that makes some sense. So it preferentially picks all the cheap cards. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's super useful. Attack pot can't block in defect. There's no wallop or dash. Right? You can get weak, which would be nice. And we probably should spend a potion on the fight. Seems like this turn's probably the turn for it. We could kill, maybe. Is that possible? Even Meteor Strike doesn't kill, right? It'd be like Meteor Strike plus Dual Cast plus Zap, so it's like 16, 19 from that, and then 24 from the Meteor. Yeah, it's not a kill. It's 43 damage. I'm pretty sure there's no higher damage than Meteor Strike, right? I guess the Meteor... Is the Meteor Strike upgraded? I think it's not with Molten Egg. Is Thunderborn? Here, what's... Yeah, I guess they're both 24. That's super weird. Yeah, they're both 24. Sunder upgrades to do more. I never realized that. Sunder and Meteor Strike do the same amount of damage. Huh. Neat. But they both give you energy back, too. They're, like, actually very similar cards. Alright, I think we just defend. Ouch. Alright, so begins the long trudge back to full health. I guess he takes our buffer anyway. not going to play Zap because I don't want to kill him. We did take 7. Darn. Do we want to kill him? I don't know. Is Stone Calendar going to take the choice away from us here? Looks like. Okay, well, if Stone Calendar is going to take the choice away, we might as well do it ourselves. Steam Barrier seems minorly helpful. It's a hard card to pick with Snecko Eye. Sunder Plus hits like a truck. Costs 1.5. Sunder Plus is like energy positive sometimes. Sunder Plus does start to scale off a little bit. Because it's hard to get a kill with it. In like Act 3. We also have quite a few attacks already. The Melter, Rip and Tear. But less than I thought, which is just 4. Okay, I'll take a Sunder Plus. Can't be that hard to pick a Sunder Plus in a Snecko Eye deck, right? Alright. Cold Snap is always getting played. She never regenerates, so we have to think about if we want to do damage or try and heal. I guess we can just dual cast this, which both does damage now to help set us up for lethal if we want it, and removes the involuntary damage from Lightning Orb. It doesn't remove the Stone Calendar or Torii damage, or, sorry, Mercury Hourglass damage. Calling Bell for Bag of Prep, Frozen Egg, and Duvu-Doll. Holy crap. The Duvu-Doll is definitely the weakest part. There's a lot of good rare relics, and Duvu-Doll is definitely not the top of the list, but... definitely a scary fight to try and heal, for sure. But we have to do it, right? Like, we have to do it at some point. We have to get to full health. And, like, our next fight is going to be either, like, a hard pool fight or an elite fight, so... I would rather do it now than then, right? But I think we're not going to try and heal now. Just because it feels really dangerous. Defend is super good here. It makes us take 1 damage. So we're like net health positive on the turn with Creative AI Defend. Maybe Loop is better than Creative AI here. That's pretty hard to justify. We can just Sunder Zap for the kill. And like Bias Cog for 2 health. Seems fine. Guess I should try and draw another power, but there isn't any, so. Coolhead Plus seems insane. We need more Frost Orbs and more draw. Coolhead Plus does it all. Bites, huh? No, I think that puts us too low on HP. They are Bite Pluses. We're gonna die if we do that. How much health do we go to? We go to 40. Man, that's tempting. Bite Pluses are really strong. We're definitely gonna die though. Like 40 max health is just not enough. But we're already at 58, right? Like, we haven't removed any strikes, so we still have all 4 starting ones. We did have 1 upgraded, so that's a small cost. But I mean, definitely if we had Blood Vial, I would give it up for sure. But we don't have Blood Vial. The max HP is pretty expensive, but we don't lose any current HP. So, like, if we're worried about dying soon, which maybe we should be, then this is definitely good, right? Yeah, we should do this. Because I am worried about dying soon. I think, like, right after you pick Snicko Eye is, like, the most dangerous part of the run. Because your deck isn't ready for having a Snicko Eye. And we, like, yeah. This deck gets really strong, right? Snicko Eye plus Birdface Urn defect is, like, definitely an Act 4 comp that wins, but I'm not sure we win Act 2. So this helps us win Act 2, so I'll do it. Give me those bite pluses. Yeah. Frozen Eye, huh. GA is probably a pick here. I mean, you can't really think about bite pluses blocking for 3, because it doesn't, that's not really how it works, right? Because we only have 40 max HP, so, like, enemies can just hit you for 40. Like, even if you're at max HP, you can just die. You can't actually, like, overblock with it. But yeah, the effect of Bite Plus is that usually you gain health with it, which is pretty nice. We do have Golden Idol, so we could pick Ceramic Fish and try and get Blooded Idol and do the thing. We already have a lot of healing, though, with Birdface Urn, so that maybe that thing is not necessary. Juicy? Why would we do that? Does Frozen Eye actually help us? Like, Frozen Eye Snicko Eye decks are just so weird. Like, I've done this before, but it's like, you look at the top cards and you're like, okay, so maybe those will be playable? I don't know. It, like, basically, Frozen Eye is, like, worthless with Snicko Eye, because you never know what you're going to be able to play, even if you know what cards are coming up. You're just like, I don't know. Maybe that'll help. I guess this actually is pretty weak Storm. I thought it was good, but it's not. So maybe it's just like GA card remove. Do we pick Machine Learning in this deck? I mean, we can't afford Juzu and Fish, but why? Like, what are those getting for us? Like, Ceramic Fish is never going to pay for itself. There's no way we're adding what would it have to be, like 80 cards to the deck or something? No, it's like 160. Or it's wait, sorry, no, it'd be like 17 cards to the deck, right? So, like, there's no way that's a good idea. Unless we get Blood Idol, in which case it's kind of a good idea. Energy Pot does seem pretty good. Energy Pot's pretty important. So we could, like, GA, Machine Learning, card remove Energy Pot. GA is almost certainly happening. GA plus Machine Learning. I mean, Machine Learning makes a lot of sense with Snicko Eye, right? Draw 8 cards a turn. Increases the availability of stuff. Helps me get to full health. So that costs 257. Plus the 75 is 332. So we would not be able to afford Energy Pot. Oh my god, Guitar, you're right. If our hand size goes up, the number goes down. No. What about, like, GA Machine Learning card remove Sweeping Beam? It's on sale. It says plus. It draws a card. Does damage. We're trying not to die to Slavers, and I'm feeling suspiciously close to dying to Slavers here. Like, it's the whole point of the stream is, like, let's not die to Slavers. It's like, well, what if we do, though? What is there not to question? Juzu means no fight in question marks, and Fish gets us more gold. So Fish gets us less gold for sure. The only point of Fish is it gets us more procs of adding gold, which only matters if we upgrade Golden Idol. So using Fish to gain gold is wrong. And Juzu doesn't actually reduce the number of, like, health loss events. Because, like, if you pick Juzu, then you can find things like Knowing Skull, which takes a bunch of health, or, like, Thwack, which is a fight anyway. I'm not really convinced that the question marks are good. Like in fights, we can get to full health. In question marks, we don't know what we're getting into. Especially since we already saw bites. We definitely don't want apparitions now. We're not going to 20. That would be insane. Dirty Third Coast is talking about skipping machine learning. Are you talking about? Is that like a reference to like the Louisiana, Texas Gulf Coast? Because it's neither the East Coast nor the West Coast. It's like the South Coast. Yeah, I'm not against skipping machine learning. It is very expensive and like sort of a marginal benefit. So it could be like GA card remove, energy pot. Yeah, Juzu is like one of the worst relics in the game. It's like it would be highly unusual to want to buy Juzu. If I was at like 2 health and I had to get through a question mark to get to a fire, I'm still not sure I would pick Juzu. It just like, it's so bad. Alright, so let's click this. What does spew mean? So that's like, you're probably watching Life Coach. Life Coach says spew to like when you're just like playing cards and not really thinking about it. You're just spewing your cards out. Also, I missed like a golden opportunity yesterday. There was a Life Coach raided this stream, and apparently he cut himself off in the middle of a sentence while he was talking about sadistic nature. And that was my opportunity to bust out my Life Coach impression and like do an analysis of sadistic nature. I think the only thing that stopped me is I don't really have like a good sadistic nature analysis ready to go. Right, so I think we're moving a card, probably Streamline, maybe Zap. Yeah, Zap is really bad, right? Life Coach has like 2 different ways of speaking that he like alternates rapidly between, where he's like very careful and like an analytical and just like speaking in his German accent, right? Like, and then he'll just like go like completely off the rails and like get really animated and talk about something. It's really fun. I like Life Coach's stream a lot. I didn't initially like when he was a Hearthstone player. I didn't watch him very often. Because I was just irritated by how long he took on his turns. I think he's better as a Slay the Spire streamer than a Hearthstone streamer. Well, okay, so if we're removing a card, like Zap and Dual Cast are kind of top of the list. Probably Zap higher than Dual Cast, because Dual Cast can like hit a Frost Orb. Streamline's pretty weak. Definitely not cutting Cold Snap or Rip and Tear. Actually, Rip and Tear is maybe cuttable. I guess Rip and Tear is kind of just a worse Streamline now, because it's like 14 damage versus 15. From what I've heard, their devs have never been very good. Rude! I'm telling Ben Broad on you. Yeah, so like Hearthstone, I feel like there's a number of things that like that you have to be interested in if you want to do Hearthstone, right? It's like it's a free to play game, so like you're strongly incentivized to like play it a lot so that you can like build up your collection and stuff, right? I think a lot of people just like aren't interested in that. I'm actually not particularly interested in that. I just like buy the expansion basically. I'm just like, all right, I'll buy the pre-order and like 50 packs with the gold that I have from last time, and then we're done. Thanks for the follow, Retnig. But I really do like the sort of small instanced card game, right? It's a card game that fits in 10 minutes. Bam. Oh yeah, welcome to the vegetable patch. Sorry, I forgot to welcome Retnig to the vegetable patch, and now I am experiencing shame. Are we going to a future shop? Somebody talked about a future shop. I don't see a future shop. All right, so I'm going to remove the zap, even though it's like not amazing. Not an amazing card to remove. And then I think just like, I don't know, energy pop versus machine learning is kind of tough. The Vegeta 1 badge. Oh man, I should make a vegetable patch emoji. No, it'd be too busy for an emoji, huh? Emojis are too small. It's such an interesting design challenge to like what art can fit into an emoji. I wish that I could make art. That'd be fun. All right, I'm gonna buy the machine learning. Okay. All right, snaky plant. We can actually use the melter here, but I guess there's no point in doing so. We could dual cast if we were trying to prevent the lightning orb from killing him on accident. Seems like we just want the damage, because we're already at full health, so we're just trying to end the fight now. Yeah, there's a bunch of emotes that I need to do. We need a coconut one. We need like a right and left bread arms thing. I was thinking like little oven mitt made it of bread. Lots of stuff to do. We have to play GA, so let's just do that. Do we have lethal? 11 plus 24 is 35, minus 3 is 32, so we're off by 15. Seems like with Explosive Pot we definitely get there. We want to rip and tear last, ideally. So let's do the big damage first. Yeah, exactly. That's really the problem, right? Is we just run out of slots really quickly. Trying to think of like how we set this up so that Rip and Tear doesn't proc him twice. I guess if we Streamline and then Bite, then he has 5 armor and Rip and Tear only hits him once. I guess we just Explosive Bomb. That'll do it. Barrage could be quite good. We have Capacitor. Seems like we don't really need that though. Stack and Hologram are both defensive resources. Creative AI decks can get quite large, so Stack could be effective for that. But, you know, they're unupgraded, and I'm not really sure that we need them. We should probably upgrade this GA or, like, wait for an Echo form. We do need more Frost End, that's for sure. Hologram could be that. We need, like, a Glacier. Glacier is so good in Snecko AI decks, too. That card blocks a lot. We also need just some focus. We need focus in the deck. We've only generated 1 Bias Cog. We were technically offered a Bias Cog from the Boss Relic, but taking it over Creative AI seemed wrong. I think we're skipping here. Alright, Elite or Fire? We have to do 2 Elites if we're doing an Elite. We are at full health, but an Elite is going to test our ability to block, no matter who it is. I think we're a little bit too slow for both Slavers and Book of Stabbing. And I literally titled the stream trying not to die to Slavers. So if I die to Slavers, I'm going to be quite sad. So I think we're going to dodge Slavers here and finally get that loop upgrade. Actually, loop and GA both want upgrades. And if we're going to upgrade GA, we should do it now, right? We've only played it once. What? Oh, it is. That's odd. Weird. Alright, well, I'm not gonna... I'll just change it to nothing then. Yeah, so the first time I tried to go live, it like had an authentication error and like failed, so I had to reopen that dialog, so it must have lost my title. Yeah, so there've been more changes to the to Silent. Nope, there's a big announcement with patch notes. It's live now, so you can play it even if you're not in the beta branch. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the GA. We want this to stack really fast. We got it a little bit late. It's like a floor 21 GA. So let's get it stacked quickly. Alright, this is one of the fights where you can get to full health. We are already at full health, so we're not like super hurting for that. However, we're about to not be, so... Let's go to play the dual cast and the capacitor. Actually, if we dual cast, we might not do 20 damage to either of them. If we like split it or hit the Centurion, the Mystic twice, we don't do 21 damage and she doesn't heal, and we need her to be healing. So maybe we just Sunder plus on Centurion. Okay. Okay, let's get back some health and develop a Frost Orb. We could probably kill Centurion. It's like a 50-50 here. But then we're left with only Mystic, and I'm not sure if we get to full health in time. I'm going to assume that we do. Let's try it. Need to get that procced in the fight. And we need to damage her to 20 so that she heals. Oh, we actually didn't quite do it. Wait, is she healing now or is she buffing? I think she's buffing. So we shouldn't bite her again, because she would die. Oh, she was healing. Okay. My bad. I guess we're really close to full health. Capacitor machine learning gets us even closer. This is always happening. Can't play 2 bites, which would get us to full health. Right. Alright. First generated Echo form. I'm going to need more of those in the future. We're up to full health, and we can just kill her now. Okay, great. Leap Plus seems pretty pickable here. Normally not a great card, but I would like some block. Blocks for 12. Okay. It's a little bit weak, but it says plus on it. Alright, let's go get that upgrade on Loop. Could see Capacitor getting an upgrade, but I don't think instead of Loop. I think it's Loop and then Cool-Headed and then maybe Capacitor. Alright, finally getting that Loop upgraded. That Loop was like floor 15. It's been in the deck for forever. I really want max HP. Sapphire Key is tempting, but we're at 40, so this increases our max HP by 25%, or 20% depending on how you measure it. So here, let me go on a little mini rant. Percentages should never exceed 100%. Percentages in excess of 100% just indicate that whatever you're doing doesn't make any sense. Like a 400% increase is like, what do you even mean? So I like to just use the higher number as the basis for calculating the percent. So rather than thinking I'd be going up by 10 out of 40, I'd be going up by 10 out of 50, which is 20% rather than 25%. That way you never get over 100%. But it also means that if I gained 360 health right now, I'd be gaining 90% health instead of gaining whatever 900% health or something. It is kind of a personal quirk, and I am aware that everyone in the entire world uses the original number as the basis. But god damn it, their percentages end up weird. You can end up with like negative percentages and stuff. Like, what is that? What are you even talking about at that point? Bonfire spirits, huh? Seems like a pretty golden opportunity to get rid of a card that used to be good and now isn't. Like a Rip and Tear or a Streamline. Rip and Tear gives us max HP. We give up Machine Learning. Oh, Rip and Tear just heals us. Machine Learning would give us the max HP. How much max HP is it? Is it like 7 or something? Bonfire Spirits. Because if it's like 14, I'll do it. 10. I don't know. 10 health seems like a lot. So this Machine Learning would have been on like 180 gold pair, basically. Yeah, we don't really need the Machine Learning. 180 gold pair seems pretty reasonable. It's true, we were at 58 when we took bites. See, but Sherwin's, you're saying nonsense now, though, right? Because you can't just say 50 is 125% of 40. That doesn't make any sense. Like, the reason that we say numbers and like put percentages after them is we're trying to communicate something, right? It's like a percentage change, and like, you can't just compare two random numbers and be like, this one's 125% of that one. It's like, yeah, it's 1.25 times that one, sure. And you can like claim that that's a percentage, but it just isn't. Deck pull with a spicy take. It's math. It's just math. Because percent for me, it means more than a number that you multiply by 100 and put a percentage sign after, right? It's like, I can't just like say that my deck is 25 kilograms, right? This 25 it represents a different quantity. It's like it's the number of cards in the deck, not the number of kilograms, right? And for me, percentages is a number between 0 and 1 that represents the percent change in a quantity. And the way to keep that bounded is you just always use the larger number as the basis. Right, exactly. My deck is 2,500% cards. Okay, sure. But percentage is a unit. That's where we put units. We put the unit right after the number, and percentages it is a unit. Maybe. I mean, okay. It's fair for people to say it isn't a unit. I don't think there's like I don't think you can necessarily convince me that there's like that it's 100% not a unit. I think you can define it as a unit if that's useful for you. But percentages are like, they're necessarily dimensionless, right? Because you're comparing two numbers with the same unit. So you could consider it dimensionless or a unit of its own, if you would like. Okay, yeah, let's get rid of I like the health a lot. I think the health is how we win the game. So let's get rid of this. All right, we go to an extra fire here. Get an upgrade on Coolhead. Is 1/2 a unit? No, it's a number. Yeah, sorry for going on a long and pointless rant about what numbers mean. But it's one of those, like, sorry, not sorry situations where it's like, well, you know, reasonable people can disagree. We could cool head and try and draw something better that costs 1. We could GA just to proc it. Play Rip and Tear Bite to try and end the fight. I've never had a platform to argue about numbers before, so this is a new experience for me. What about like just Rip and Tear GA? That seems pretty reasonable. I guess if we just want to do damage, it should just be Rip and Tear Melter. Maybe that's the right approach, because we need to kill cultists. We can't let cultists scale up. Okay. All right, Lightning Orb agrees. Get him. Sunder's got some plans here. Boom. Is Loop worth playing? Put the Daze in the deck, gives us some more damage. We're currently at full health, so extra damage seems okay. At least in the common understanding of math as a science. I don't know if I don't want to just like pick random little points to argue about, but I don't think math is really a science. It's a discipline. Let's see. How do we not die and like end at full health? I guess that if you major in mathematics, you get a Bachelor of Science. So like maybe, I don't know. I guess I'm not really interested in guarding the border of science, so I retract my criticism. It's not really up for me to say. Sure, yeah. I mean, you can get a master's in either science or non-science things, which is kind of strange now that I think about it. Oh, you have a BA, okay. It's strange that the Bachelor of the Arts and Bachelor of Sciences distinction disappears when you go to the master's level. Or a PhD, I suppose. Engineering isn't a science, but it's also a Bachelor of Science. That is strange, good point. Engineering is what would you call engineering as in terms of like a discipline? It's like applied science, right? Okay, so it seems like 2 defense should probably happen. And then like cool-headed or defrag or something. Maybe weak pot. Weak pot defrag makes us only take 1 damage. I think I like that. Thanks, Tori. Just took 2 normality because I had the courier for sure paid off. That sounds fun. I would like to play Echo Form and a Leap, but Snecko Eye has decided that's not going to happen. So I guess just Leap? Are we just waiting on Stone Calendar to kill her at this point? What percentage of masters of bachelors? I don't know. If you go by time, people get masters in like very different amounts of times. Like some people take like 7 years to get a master's degree, and some people do it in like 2. 7 years would be a very long time. Maybe people don't do that. Well, this is a yikes turn. Gosh. Well, if we defend, the first one hits us for 1, and the second one hits us for 10. I guess we should start with Cool Head. Cold Snap seems to open up some possibilities. So now we're blocking passively for 9. We can't double defend, I suppose. Oh wait, do we have lethal? 5 plus... Alright, this is 10, 16... 20? Yes, we do. Lethal at full health, no less. Alright. Could have gotten a master's in mechanical engineering in 5 years. Is that 5 years from starting your college, or 5 years from the end of your bachelor's? Yeah, 4 plus 1. That's pretty common. 4 plus 1 and 4 plus 2 happen. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Second charge battery, I have a leap and a GA now, so like I don't know about a second charge battery. Seems like that's just diluting the deck. I think we're just skipping. Okay. Looks like an upgrade to me. We're at full health. Cool Head needs an upgrade. Streamline has a pretty good upgrade. We're never doing that. Three plus 2 seems like an aggressive schedule for getting your bachelor's. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I know that schooling is definitely very different across the world. Let's go do this fight and then maybe do an elite. This would be our first Act 2 elite, our first opportunity to die to slavers. And if we don't end this at full health, we probably just won't do it. I want to play Sunder because it does a lot of damage, but I also want to play GA because we have to play it at some point during the fight. That's right. They teach me about patriotism. Loop versus capacitor. I think it's probably loop. Okay. Oh, I just skipped a byte for no reason. In my head, I'd already played it. Is there a reason we played GA over playing capacitor? I guess I want to proc it. It's not like a huge block resource by this point. We're just trying to play it every fight until it eventually is. Have I missed capacitor in any fights so far? It seems like it's not blocking for very much yet. Didn't I get it like here or something? Yeah, I bought it from this store. So it should have procced 1, and then I upgraded it, and then 2, and then 3, 4 times. So it should have gotten 3 procs with the upgrade and 1 proc without. So it should be plus 11 from its original, but it's only plus 9. So I must have missed one of them before it was upgraded. Wait, yeah, what does it start out as? It starts out as 1, right? So it's behind by 3, so I missed one of the upgraded ones. So I missed one recently. Yeah. Okay, so he's hitting for 8 times 3, which is a lot. I've heard. If we cold snap, we block the first one and take 1. Defend doesn't really do anything. So it's probably like cold snap, streamline, melter. Bites are good. Creative AI costs 1. Defend is still pretty useless. I guess we could cool-headed and look for better stuff, but we're unlikely to get it because we're guaranteed to get a Rip and Tear. It does still block for 2, but 2 is meaningless. 2 is 0. 3 is also 0. I guess I'd rather have a Frost Orb for the future. Maybe I draw something else that costs 0. Nope. Grip and Tear. Took a lot of damage to this snake plant. Maybe we can try to heal? Alright, so Electrodynamics Bite kills him. That's fine. He dies at the beginning of next turn anyway. That's not too bad. Only took 14 net. Third Cool-Headed, I don't know about that. Yeah, Snake Plant hits so hard. Chill seems terrible with Snecko Ime. Chaos seems bad. I think this Cool-Head's a skip. If it was a Cool-Head plus, I'd take it. Alright, 46 health and a Essence of Steel. Is that good enough to fight Slavers? The Bite pluses are pretty strong. We've got a Sunder as well, which is pretty good against Slavers. I think we can do it. Alright, it's Book of Stabbing. Alright. Charge Battery Defend reduces the damage to 1. And then we could Bite Capacitor or Creative AI. Creative AI scales pretty slowly, so I think we're just going to drink the Plated Armor and go for some damage. Oh, maybe we should just double bit. Double Bite's... Actually, double Bite's way better. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, speaking about one of the most difficult enemies in the game. Here's Book of Stabbing. This costs 0, so I guess I'll play it. Hitting us for 24. Leap is very expensive, so maybe it's like GA Sunder. Does some pretty good blocking, still takes some damage. Not a lot of good options this turn. Loop Bite. Even if we Cool-Headed, what are we really drawing? Defend. I guess Cool-Headed is actually quite good. It blocks for 6. Develops a Frost Orb. Could draw something that costs 0. Blocking for 6 is better than what Loop and Bite does, which heals us for 5. But Bite does 8 damage, which we need. But Cool-Head blocks in the future. And the 2 block in the future is highly likely to be relevant, because he's going to do 7 times something. But I don't know if we even survive next turn. So maybe we need Loop Bite for the damage. Yeah, actually Cool-Headed doesn't block, because the Plated Armor blocks the first one. So that puts it in the Torii range already. Okay, let's do the damage then. Is it Melter or Bite? If we're not planning on surviving next turn, then it should be Melter, right? Get more damage. Okay. Maybe it should have been Melter Bite. Oh, he's attacking for 24, so we definitely can survive this turn. Although just Bite isn't quite enough. So it's probably like Bite, Defend, Sunder. Unless like dual cast Sunder is lethal. It's not. Alright, and then we need lethal next turn. We were lucky to even survive this turn. Go ahead and gain some health there, sneakily. Orichalcum's actually really good in this type of deck. We can just block with Frost Orbs and Orichalcum. Works way better than you would think. Rip and Tear Plus is a hell of a card. Probably not pickable here. Static Discharge is okay. Static Discharge makes us lose control of when we end fights a little bit, although it does get us 2 health. I think we're just skipping. Skipping, resting, and hoping we outscale Champ, I think is the plan. Yeah, Glacier would be really nice. Alright, Leap is good here. I don't actually think the Champ is going to be too rough. We should be able to just Frost Orb block him. Scale out of range. I want a Cool Head because it blocks for a bunch, but I guess we just defend here. Take 1. Positive health on the turn. Charge Battery is always getting played. I guess that means Cool Head blocks out, so we could try and save GA. We could try and save GA until we find an Echo form too, and proc it twice. Try and catch up a little bit. Yeah, so let's just play Defend Bite this turn. It's positive 1 health. Yeah, gonna be tough to have positive health before we start scaling. Now that we're vulnerable and frail. We'll go to the bathroom, be right back. Okay. Well, we're always playing Bite and Cold Snap. And it seems like Creative AI Defend is probably the rest of the turn. Although I'm not super happy about it. Maybe we Liquid Memories the GA here. Liquid Memories GA only ends up blocking for 9. I'm just going to try and hold it. That's a lot of damage coming in. We need some focus. When you develop a game, let's say like Slay the Spire, how do you avoid making cards or relics that are always good, or is that even a goal? Having combinations that are incredibly strong, even a bad thing? I don't make games, just wondering about the thought process. Yeah, so you want people to make interesting decisions. That's like usually the guiding light. Interesting decisions are fun. So if you make something that's always good, it's not really a very interesting decision. You're just like, oh, that card's good, click, right? I should say that's the guiding light of turn-based games. As interesting decisions. So yeah, so you want things to like interact well together. You don't really want like individually strong parts. Do we play Sunder here, or are we trying to use Champ's health like a resource? I think Champ's health might be a resource here, because we really want to not split him before we've scaled up a bunch. And Stone Calendar's already doing 52 damage, so he's at fundamentally, functionally 321. And he splits at 220, so we've only got 100 health to play with. Honestly, Talger I probably should have Boss swapped. I didn't do it because it was fun to not do it for once. But it probably was correct to do it. Alright, let's draw some more cards. 0 cost defend. Hell yeah. Okay, so probably like machine learning loop GA. We really need to generate some focus, or else we're not going to be able to outscale him. We're currently blocking for 9, so GA works really well. That makes sense. I think the way they use relics and cards helps create the experience, especially if it involves a question of getting, say, Snicker Skull, and wondering if you swap out of poison. Swap 2 poison out of shivs. Yeah, it's it's very interesting. So you want to, especially as a card game designer. I mean, you did say like Slay the Spire. So for card games specifically, your deck is built out of like a lot of little parts. So it's really important that those little parts have to work together to make the engine. My personal game is a little bit different. The parts are a little larger, so it's a little bit harder to make them, to force people to assemble them, right? But you should still get to make interesting decisions. God, we are just never going to lose that vulnerable, are we? He's just going to keep applying it. And we're going to keep making machine learnings. We've got 3, 6, 9, 10 cards. There's really no point in playing machine learning at all. I was on the Hearthstone team, but I was not a designer. I was an engineer. But I worked on the client team, so making sure that the client works well on all the platforms, dealing with like mobile issues and like shaders and stuff. Thanks for the follow, Fanto Meko 3. Welcome to the Vegetablebread. I appreciate the support. 3, 6, 9 cards in hand, so this cool head is safe. All right. I am not at all surprised that the Samsung S Pen does not work. Those sorts of interactions are difficult and fiddly, but yes, that would have been that would be something the client team's working on. I don't know if they're working on it specifically. I imagine it's pretty low priority, but you know, it's in their purview. 0 cost bite, yeah. I think we're no on Sunder. We're still trying to use his health as a resource, so. Oh, the S Pen TM, yes. My apologies. All rights reserved by Samsung, for Samsung. Finally, we got a defrag. Okay. A little bit of scaling. Still need that Echo form. Happy to get rid of the Lightning Orb. And Stone Calendar is going off this turn. Not mad. I was like, no tan ad? We do a couple bites. Let's see, he's taking 52, so he is at 264 currently. 264 is above 220, so we're not splitting him. So we can keep fighting him for the moment. Why is his health a resource? Just to get as much scaling as possible before he enrages. Yep, you got it exactly. We want to be way out of his range. We want to have 1,000 block per turn by the time he enrages, ideally. So let's go ahead and chomp on some of his armor. I guess I'll cool-headed for more cards. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, even. Certainly can't play Bioscog. Would it be better if relics only had 2 rarities? No, I think 2 would be too restrictive. The 2 would presumably be, like, common and boss relics, but then, like, stores could only sell common relics, and that's not very much fun. Alright, we need some blocks, so let's go ahead and cold snap. Looking for 12 plus 15 there. Yeah, is it? I thought it was 5 different types, because there's the 3 rarities, common, uncommon, rare, and there's shop and boss. I guess there's special, right? There's like golden idol and stuff. Yeah, event. So 12 plus 15 is 27, so we've blocked out. And that's great. We're still biting, because he's still got health for us to bite. There's our Bioscog back. Can't really play that one. I think we can probably play Static Discharge safely. Is that safe? I'm not sure. We've definitely blocked out this turn. We can bite because it only does 2 damage. I'm gonna go ahead and risk it for Static Discharge. I want that health. And if he starts hitting us, maybe we need to be channeling Lightning anyway. But not Storm or Bioscog. Those are too dangerous. Ooh, extra capacitor, that's useful. Still looking for like an Echo Form and a, whatchamacallit? Another, defrag. I have to think about what the beta art for defrag looks like to remember the name of the card. Alright. No Unbiascog. I guess I'll play Machine Learning for healing. We're already overdrawing, so it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and play Bite. He's not splitting yet, so that's okay. We're almost up to full health. But full health is not where we're stopping. We are gonna keep stacking up until we've got, I don't know, 200 block a turn. I think that's the minimum. Heat sinks is fine. I'll go ahead and take 2 more of his health. We're at full now, so no more bites. Okay, none of this needs to get played. We could play a cool-headed to draw a card, I guess. Doesn't matter. What? Doesn't he boost his strength? Why hasn't he done that yet? Nope. Oh yeah, he does. He's a gloats, and yeah, gloat is a phase 1 thing, so he can scale his strength. He hasn't chosen to do it. Weird. I mean, he also gets stronger when he angers when he transitions, but he just hasn't ever done it. Okay. Still can't play Storm. So I guess this turn is just that. Could you at least generate like another creative AI or something? There's no point in playing Hello World, right? There's no common cards that are good, and generating more common cards is bad. I probably shouldn't have played the last one either. So I think we're just done here. I guess I'm pretty happy that he keeps debuffing me. It doesn't really do anything at this point. I'm already vulnerable forever, so... I guess I'll play a hologram to get it out of the deck. Or, not a hologram, machine learning. We are already blocked out, so it doesn't matter if we play these or not. Come on, Echo Form. Hey, there it is. Just gotta ask for it. Is this enough block? 11 plus 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 11. Yes. I'm not sure what I was supposed to do about it if it wasn't enough, but it is. Looks like he's finally buffing. But so am I. Echo Form defrag coming in hot. Oh, he even defensive scaled, yeah. Or he even wasn't doing defensive stance very much. But he did finally do it there. Still no gloating. Which is great. I'll take a couple energy next turn and play Static Discharge, I guess. Just to get it out of the deck. Take another charge battery for next turn, I suppose. We could probably kill him soon. If we, like, Storm Bias Cog, we'd start getting there pretty quickly. Yeah, we scale faster than him in phase 1 for sure. I think. I mean, so far he hasn't scaled at all. He can though. So I do want to get some more block before I switch him. Oh. No, thank you, Biascog. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not really willing to risk the damage. I'm just gonna build up a bunch, so I don't have to think about it. I guess I'll get this out of the deck. Gain some energy for next turn, so that I can play the next Echo Form that comes up. Ooh, defrag. Okay, that's a good one. Okay. Look at all that armor. Getting close to up to 100 block a turn. Those defrags start scaling pretty quickly once they decide to come. A lot of storms though. Sort of waiting on those to get out of the way. Ah, he's finally buffing. This is him buffing. Almost forgot what it looked like. I guess he has gloated. This will be his second gloat. He slipped one in there while I wasn't paying attention. Double buffer seems pretty good. Maybe if we get enough buffers, we can flip him. Ooh, he's gloating again. So he might actually start to outscale us here. Not yet, though. We block for 63 passively now. If we do nothing, so. Let's get this Static Discharge out of the deck. Extra creative ads are definitely a yes. That makes us scale way faster. Cool-headed is fine. It's there's nothing in the deck that we're hoping to draw. If there was a focus scaling card in here, we would have played it the first time we saw it. So it doesn't really help. He's gloating again. Double buffer or double creative AI again? Double creative AI would mean we're generating 5 powers per turn, which would get us our echo forms and defrags very quickly. I think I like double creative AI better than double buffer. We care about our scaling more than we care about the number of buffers we have. All the powers, please. Alright, we're still outscaling him, and it looks like we're never gonna fall behind at this point. Triple machine learning. How many stacks of machine learning? If we just play every machine learning we see, how many will we get to by the time we flip him? That's the real question. We're up to 12. Seems like a lot. It's no rarer than defrag either. Imagine if we were at 12 on defrag. Alright. I want to play the echo form, but I want to play the defrag too, and I can't play both. I guess defrag's more important. We can play like defrag and loop. Okay. Stack up our claws. Seems important. Get a second shot at echo form, which I will gladly take. More orb slots. Seems nice. I think we've got enough creative AIs for the moment. Might as well play heat sinks to get it out of the deck. Okay. I guess I'll play Charge Better for energy next turn. Seems like we're actually pretty stressed on energy, given how many powers we're generating. Alright. We actually don't need to double this capacitor, because we have, what, how many slots? 3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, we're full, so we don't need to play the capacitor at all. Yeah, we're definitely going to double play loop, and I think double buffer as well. Just in case, I guess. And I guess I'll play capacitor to get it out of the deck. Is it possible to generate a consume? I think it's not. Is it time to go? Is this the, like, double storm, double bias cog turn? Yeah, consume's not a power. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's possible to make it. So if we double storm, double bias cog, double buffer, we generate, let's see, 1 plus 4 lightning orbs, so we generate 5 lightning orbs. I don't know. We're not up to the 200 I said I was going to go up to, so I'm not going to do it yet. I guess I could just play another creative AI. I mean, all we care about is getting defrags, right? So at some point we're going to stop drawing regular cards if we keep playing creative AIs, though, which is a little bit bad. Yeah, we're only drawing like 2 regular cards a turn now. Despite the fact that we have 12 machine learning. So I should probably stop doing that. I think we're pretty much done with echo forms. So I got 3 of them. It's hard to imagine playing more than 3 cards a turn. Compile Driver could draw a Cool Head, which we kind of need. And we can get one of these out of the deck. Alright, double loop, double buffer, double charge battery seems fine. Up to 8 buffers, almost up to that vaunted 200 block, the hallmark I set myself. 3 Echo Forms got generated this turn. Okay. How many in the discard? I have no idea. A ton of stuff. I don't know. There's just... This is turn 43, so we've been at this a little while. I think this is the turn. I think we go now. I think it's like double Storm, double Bioscope, double Electro. Which actually only costs 2, so I could play Echo Form first. Or actually I could play Storm, then Echo Form, then Electro, then Bioscog. Sweet. Got a surprise for you, champ. Your reign is over. I didn't realize we were killing him this turn, but sure. Okay. Echo Form seems good, so is Bioscog. Echo Form would help us proc the genetic algorithm in the deck. So we could set that up more reliably. Your reign is over. The storm has begun. Fission also helps set stuff up. Seems like Echo Form's way better, though. I kind of wish there was just a defrag here. Obviously, you can't get a defrag in a boss card reward, but... Alright. Frozen Core? More Frost Orbs, fills up the capacitor thing. Kind of substitutes for the Glacier we haven't found. It also gets rid of the Lightning Orb, which has been involuntarily killing people since Act 1. Would really like some extra energy, so maybe it's Fusion Hammer, though. Yeah, honestly, like, these are all good. You could pick any of these. Again, every boss reward has been like this so far. No bad ones so far. Black Star is quite good. It seems like we're pretty good at Act 3 elites. Not amazing. Could definitely get killed by a Reptomancer. Or, to be honest, a Nemesis. Seems like we probably got Giant Head's number. But yeah, Black Star is only going to get us like 3 or 4 relics, and this isn't really a relic-powered run. I guess I mean, Birdface Urn is a relic, so technically it is, but mostly it's just creative AI and Snake AI. Fusion is your least favorite. I think that's difficult to justify. Getting an extra energy is quite good, and we've got most of the upgrades we need. Like, what card do you want to upgrade? Why are you holding off on Fusion? Echo Form? Capacitor? Like, we got all the upgrades in Act 2. We also have a Molten Egg, so even if we get like a Meteor Strike that we want to pick, it would come upgraded. Creative AI's upgrade does literally nothing, so you probably shouldn't do that one. It just decosts it, but then Snake AI randomizes the cost anyway. I definitely wish the Cracked Core was an Inserter. Inserter would be very good. I'm pretty happy with Fusion Hammer. Sherwins agrees. Donidek is first. Don't hate going to a shop here. Look at this path. A bunch of question marks and a fire before the first elite. That's pretty nice. Early shop. Kind of suggests a second shop, which is unfortunate if we want to do this elite. Maybe we'd end up going this way. Late half the act is not as good. This is a really nice little passage. It's got an extra fire there too for that elite. That's pretty good. Yeah, extra keys, extra fires is what I'm looking for because of the key. We've already got green key, so we just have to skip the relic here. And it doesn't force us into 2 shops in this path, so I think we're going to do this one. 1.5 cards played. Is that based on the you play the cheapest card math that people were talking about earlier? Because it seems like you're playing an additional 2/3 of a card rather than an additional 3/2, because cards cost on average 1 energy, so or 1.5. So if we gain 1 energy, we play 1/1.5 of a card. If that wasn't incredibly confusing, it's kind of confusing to say. Must have been confusing to listen to. I guess it's Echo Form Double Defend. It's possible to die in this fight. Seems pretty unlikely, though. I guess it's not possible because we have Stone Calendar. I'll go ahead and dual cast. If it hits Exploder twice, maybe we can kill him before he blows up. It's kind of a dream. Streamline Bite kills Exploder. We can double proc GA first. Seems amazing. That should be able to get us to full health at the end of the fight. Hello World heals us a little bit. Leap blocks out. Should get us to full health at the end of the fight. And now we're just waiting for Stone Calendar to murder everyone. Yeah, Mummified Hand would be incredible, obviously, yeah. We can even bite him, just to hurry things up a little bit. We've got 9 armor, so. We're probably not punching him to death. We're probably just waiting for Stone Calendar. In fact, even if he hits us on both of the following 2 turns, we still block out, so we can just end. We can press end to win now. Oof, my buffer. Please don't take the buffer, Spiker. You're so scary. Okay. Snecko Eye is pretty good if you have Snecko Eye. It's just draw 5 cards. Lets you re-roll stuff. Third Cool-Headed was a no earlier. I don't see anything that changed to make it better. Got an Echo Form now. Really looking for that defrag. Where'd that go? Maybe it's in here. Do you have my defrag? No. Apotheosis is actually pretty good in Creative AI decks. You can upgrade all the cards that are generated by Creative AI. Oops. Kind of unnecessary, though. Enlightenment is not terrible. You generally think Enlightenment would be terrible in a Snecko Eye deck, because the cost gets... like, Enlightenment Plus tries to reduce the cost of them for the combat, which is neat, but it doesn't work with Snecko Eye, because then it re-randomizes them for the combat every time you draw them. But Enlightenment actually does work pretty well with Snecko Eye. If it costs 1, for example, and you get to play 3 cards... we could pick Sunder. I don't think we need that. Probably Puzzle. Puzzle seems really good. Just like Puzzle card remove is pretty efficient. Doesn't leave any extra money for future shops, but we're probably not going to a future shop in this act, so we're just getting money for Act 4 shop. Should be fine by the time we get there. With the Golden Idol. Okay. Yeah, puzzle card remove. Seems great. Not sure what we're card removing. Maybe a bite. Oh wait, no. It should be Streamline over bite. Streamline or Rip and Tear. Probably Rip and Tear, because it being untargeted is pretty annoying in Donu Deca and Spire Elites. Okay. Alright, just 2 gold left. Hopefully we run into Red Mask. Red Mask event would be insane with 2 gold. Loop is free. Charge battery is free. Let's draw some cards. Alright. Probably biting this one. He is buffing, so he's the biggest threat. I guess we should have dual casted first if we were going to dual cast, so we can see who the target should be. Let's go ahead and draw some more cards. There we go, Leap. Okay, so Leap blocks out. And then do we want to dual cast or no? Might as well. Oh, it is this guy. Okay, great. We picked the right target. Fine. Yikes. Hitting for 22, that's rude. I guess we have GA to block it. We have 5 energy too, so we can play Echo Form and GA. Alright, I'm sold. And let's put this bite somewhere where it does some damage. Definitely want to end this fight with full health if we can. But it can be difficult to get Stone Calendar to not end the fight. Sunder's amazing. Sunder does not follow the fatal rules. It just says whenever it kills an enemy, which is a little bit different, subtly different. So we can use it here. Also, another subtle trick that's happening this turn is we used Sunder first, and the second one didn't have a target, so our Echo Form is actually still up. It doesn't count as a card that we've played this turn for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why that's the case. But our next card will be doubled. So we could play like double Streamline if that was lethal. Double Streamline, double Bite is 16 plus 30 is 46, not lethal. So it's probably like double Creative AI or Cold Snap or something. Maybe Defend. Double Creative AI is definitely good. Double Creative AI is like if we want to get back to full health after taking damage. So if we decide we can't block this turn, Creative AI is probably the pick. It looks like we might not be able to block this turn. They're hitting for 23, so we would need to block for 17 if we wanted to get to Torii range. We're blocking for 6 total now, so we'd have to block for an additional 11. I guess double defend does get pretty close. Not quite, though. It's off, and we can't play double defend Cold Snap. So indeed, we can't block out. So we are going to double Creative AI. Did they change it? Does that not work in the Darkling fight? Well, I'm going to restart the fight. That's, I don't know. I guess I've never walked into that mechanic before. So today I learned, in the Darkling fight specifically, that weird little Echo Form retargeting thing doesn't work that way. Play all the free stuff, draw some cards, draw some more cards. We bit before we dual casted, despite it being dumb, but then the dual cast worked out. Alright, and then we GA'd and Echo Formed and bit the back guy, and I did play the defense even though there was no reason to do so. So I will do so again in case it affects anything random. Okay, so this is the turn where we learned stuff, so we want to play the card where it actually matters if we play it twice. And then we can do this. Okay, and then it's like double bite Cold Snap or something. Yeah. I didn't consider double dual cast, which was an option that turn. Alright, first card is doubled. We could play like double loop. Or like double bite or something. Double melter almost kills him. Just off by 1. Double loop heals us, which seems good. So if we double loop and then we can't triple bite, we could like bite cool-headed. It seems like we should probably kill him. Which means double melter, bite, loop or something. So it's like double melter, bite, loop, machine learning. Okay. I was assuming loop machine learning is a good idea, but maybe cool-headed instead to block for more. Oh wait, we can defend, so we've blocked out. Okay. Did double bite melter also kill him? I apparently did the math wrong. Should have done the double bite because it's worth more health, but looks like we're going to get to full health before they all die to Stone Calendar, so it should be fine. I will happily take a double defrag. And then Capacitor and Bite. Play Storm too. Double defrag Sunder, probably the start. Or maybe it's maybe we need a double bite. So if we like double bite on him and then sunder him and then we can triple bite. That's only 24 though. It's not lethal. I guess we could do the same thing with the melter. So double bite, sunder, melter kills the outside too. Yeah, seems like that's what matters, not playing more defrags. This is the second time we've sundered this guy to death. Poor that guy. Right, and next turn Stone Calendar kills everybody. Okay. Hologram Plus is nice sometimes. I don't think this is one of those times. Ball lightning is terrible, FTL is bad. Okay. We can skip this Dreamcatcher for a Sapphire Key, which seems amazing. Great, yeah, we might never rest again, so this is pretty much a blank relic. Wow, 2 chests in a row? The second one had a preserved insect. My god. That's very unlikely. I think that's a 1% chance to get a chest after a chest. Because we reset our chest chance and then immediately got another one. Highly unlikely. We're at full health, so I guess we're recalling. Never had a defect deck that didn't want a hologram. Really? I feel like holograms are a little bit niche. I don't feel like hologram is always super good. Seems like loop is important. Capacitor probably also important. We can probably outscale Nemesis eventually. I'm not sure if we want to commit to doing that right off the bat. It is worth noting that Stone Calendar will not work in this fight. Stone Calendar will do 1 damage on turn 7, because he will be intangible on turn 7. Or wait, that's not true. Right, because it's turn 1 now, turn 2, so he's intangible on the even turn, so Stone Calendar will work. I was wrong. So if we want to eat him, we need to leave him with Stone Calendar plus Mercury Hourglass health. But we're full health right now, so let's not start by assuming we need to eat him. Everything costs 0. I like holograms with Snecko Eye specifically for the infinite potential. Same with All for One. That's fair. Yeah, getting 2 holograms that both happen to roll 0 cost is not super likely, though. Yeah, sorry, Dirty Third, I got it wrong. Alright, GA blocks out. Creative AI is going in. Damage doesn't do much this turn, but does something. We've generated a defrag. Ooh, wow, we get a playable Echo Form too. Amazing. He's put a lot of burns in the deck. So we've played Echo Form, so if we block with Charge Battery, we block for quite a bit. Blocks for 14, and then Defend is enough to block out. Seems good. He is intangible, so it doesn't really matter what we do. Okay. Double Sunder seems good. Chomp. Dead Nemesis. The classic floor 41 Mob Bank. What do we think about Amplify? An extra Echo Form. Pretty likely to have a power in hand. At least once Creative AI is up. I guess Mob Bank is actually fairly good there, because there's a... So how many floors until the next shop? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for that one, 11 for the fire. So it's gonna proc 12 times. It's 144 gold. It's like a small old coin. It's fine. Ooh, that claw does say plus on it. Yeah, you know, I was planning on going on campfires for safety, but it seems like that's not necessary because we just kind of blew through an elite with full health, and we've already got the red key, so maybe we're dodging it. We're definitely dodging shops. Probably dodging this fire to go here. But like we might take damage in this fight, so we might end up at this fire anyway. Hard to say. But now we have to choose about Amplify. I'm not sure what Amplify really does for us. It's just like a tiny Echo Form, right? But like tiny Echo Form is pretty good. But the fact that Amplify costs... Okay, how about this? What if Amplify just was another Echo Form? Right? We would definitely pick another Echo Form, right? It's not quite another Echo Form, but it almost is. So maybe it's worth it. In some ways it's better than Echo Form, because you can make it work on that turn. And you can play it with Echo Form. Alright, we'll give it Amplify a shot. I don't put Amplify in the deck often, but I will this time. Uh-oh. Here's a fight where we can die. Dual Cast versus Bite. Dual Cast does more damage. I think damage is what we need right now. Alright, Transient coming in hot. We don't have much time to scale up in this fight. Sunder's a godsend. Means we're not playing Creative AI. Or Loop. Oh wait, no it doesn't. We're on 4 energy. Is Creative AI too slow in this fight, though? Yeah, drawing the turn 1 Amplify was not good there. That is kind of the danger with the card, right? We wanted to draw it this turn with the Creative AI, although we needed it to cost 0, so... 2 bites solves the damage problem and gives me some health back. Seems like Creative AI is going to struggle to pay off in this fight. I think we're just going for damage. Probably going to use a potion in this fight. Maybe even Liquid Memories next turn for Creative AI. GA is pretty good here. Double bite blocks for quite a bit. This is the last turn where Liquid Memories is guaranteed to do something. Could go get Sunder with it. We are taking, let's see, we're blocking for 29, taking 12 here. So Liquid Memories block for 12. It's a pretty good Liquid Memories to block for 12. Okay. Especially considering our potion slots are full. Cold Snap and Bite do the same amount of damage, except Cold Snap does it next turn too. Or does something next turn. Let's go ahead and use the Snecko Oil. Free Capacitor, that's nice. Sunder blocks out. Anything else we would need to do this turn? No. Oof. Snecko Eye, why'd you do it to me? God damn it, Snecko Eye. I guess it's like Melt or Bite here. This is gross. I hate how Stone Calendar doesn't even proc in this fight. Oh, God. We're gonna die next turn. Coolhead doesn't get anything good. Yeah, I think it's just Melt or Bite. I think that's all we got. Melt or Bite's actually not terrible, because we do Orichalcum block, but it's pretty rough. Yeah, your cool-headed line would have died. You would have drawn 2 3-cost defense. It looks like we die anyway. Gosh, we skipped a fire to go here because there was nothing to do with the fire. Didn't even consider that we could just die on this hallway fight. Transy's always doing this shit to me. Yep. Wow. Didn't scale fast enough for that. That is kind of the problem with these, like, I think of them as like miracle decks, right? Because it's like at the beginning of the fight we're at full health, and then we take a bunch of damage, and then we like heal it back up, right? So we like rescue ourselves over the course of the fight. And the problem with those is against like really aggressive fights like Reptomancer or Transient or the Heart. You don't have time, right? Which is why we took so much max HP, right? Why we gave like the Bonfire Spirits the machine learning, but we didn't have you don't get time in Transient fight. You can't scale. You just have to like turn 1 kill him, or like just be a deck that does a bunch of damage. And most decks by this point are a deck that does a bunch of damage, but we weren't. So he caught us. Yeah, so these kind of decks do have trouble against the Heart, right? Because outscaling the Heart is non-trivial. But really, it's just like Snecko Eye killed us, right? It made a Creative AI and Echo Form unplayable. Put Amplify in the wrong hand. Maybe we were supposed to Snecko Skull earlier. Maybe when we saw like the 3-cost Echo Form, we were supposed to be like, nope, we're going to have a better turn than that. But Transient just like makes you super sensitive to gap turns, and we had one where we just like Melt or Bite and died. That's too bad. It felt like a win. We were just I mean, I don't know. We could have used a defrag for sure, but it definitely could have been a win. Just needed to get a little bit luckier than that. That was pretty worst case scenario there.